Hey VC, it's Eric. I am back with a update. I got just a couple records and a couple compact discs I picked up that I want to show. So we have a group here, the Kiwanis Club. They are a community service club, and they have a thrift store, which is kind of how they fund a lot of their activities. Currently, they are moving from their downtown location to a location out in one of the townships west of town. They have a big industrial building that they've been moving stuff into slowly, but apparently now it's the big push. I think they're selling their property in downtown, which will get them a lot of money. So it's a good move on their part. But that means I went out there today just on a whim, and they have moved in a lot of stuff from downtown, and they have expanded their media collection, mainly their vinyl and their compact discs to a certain degree. I didn't see any cassette tapes. I wonder if they got rid of all of those. At any rate, there were a lot of things there that I looked at, and I thought, that would be cool to have. But A, I didn't want to spend a lot of money today. I'm going to be going to some book sales this weekend, and I wanted to save my cash. Secondly, there is something about I don't need to get everything. There are some things I wanted to check out, some things that called out to me, and those are what I picked up. So, if you watch me move my eyes over here. Start off with the compact discs. Picked up, came from the 80s. So compact discs at this place are $1. Mainly I picked this up because it's got the Escape Club's Wild Wild West on it, which is a song I heard all the time driving to school back in 7th or 9th, 10th grade. And didn't really love it, but I figured, what the hell, when I listened to it recently, and there's something about it that kind of still works. I think there's an element of critique of the 80s that I didn't pick up as a teenager. And, there's questions about what's going to be in the 90s. So this has also got Yaz, Modern English, The Smiths, who I don't really like, Madness, Devo, In Excess, Burn for You, which I don't know, Boys Don't Cry. So there's some actually kind of more obscure 80s stuff on here. Let's see if I can get this without the glare. So that was kind of cool. So the next thing I picked up this is a copy of my favorite Rancid album on a compact disc. I have the cassette tape. This is just, to me, maybe the best mainstream punk album of the 90s. There's some more underground things I liked from the 90s. Some of the Lookout Records stuff. I think I was a big fan of the Groovy Ghoulies, still am. But Rancid, and this is on Epitaph Records. And this album, I think, were the pinnacle of the punk rock revival of the 1990s that hit the mainstream big time. I just need to say that I don't count Bad Religion in that, because I do like Bad Religion quite a bit. Their catalog's kind of all over the place for me, though. Some albums I like certain songs, some I don't like. So they would be the other one, but they're also a holdover from the 1980s. Okay, moving on to the vinyl. The vinyl was $1 a piece. And there was a point when I just stopped looking. There's a lot of stuff. Some of you guys are going to be like, oh, you didn't look through the country too deeply, which I didn't. And part of the reason was I was done. I have a certain amount of time that I can deal with looking through this stuff. And then it's just got to end. Got to move it along. So there was some country stuff that I looked at and I thought about picking up, but I didn't. So if somebody snags it, great. If it's there next time I go back, which will probably be, 6-8 weeks, great. Maybe I'll pick it up then. There was nothing that I absolutely had to have. There was a Waylon Jennings record that was scratched to hell, and I thought, for $1, the cover might be worth it. But in the end, I decided to pass on it. But I did pick up this Tamita, which I know I've seen in the VC before. And this is the reason I picked it up. That's a really cool font and cover. And I believe this is kind of like progressive experimental electronic stuff. So I've been wanting to check this out. Found it for $1. Up next, speaking of the 80s, Greg Kihn Band Conspiracy. This has got Jeopardy on it. That was the big hit off of this record. They had a couple of copies of this, and I picked it up thinking, hey, that looks pretty cool. I've been wanting to check out his stuff. The inner sleeve, it's got this cool yellow inner sleeve. This is the Berkeley label, which was an indie label that the record was on. And the vinyl's in great shape, so I grabbed that. Pardon me while I scratch my nose. All right. Sticking with the 80s, Mink DeVille. he of the CBGB's punk scene. This is on Capitol. This is the Le Chat Bleu record. Once again, the vinyl's in great condition. Mink DeVille is one of those guys whose stuff I've been wanting to check out. And I might have a CD of his stuff. I have to go check. But something that I definitely have been wanting to listen to. Finally, I picked up something I never, ever, ever thought I would buy. Something that we used to actively make fun of back when we saw it at Tower Records. But it was $1. And I've grown up since the times that we, I'm going to tease a little bit here. Anyway, I'm a little more interested in things of the era that this came out. So I picked up a copy of Bruce Springsteen's Tunnel Love. Really not a huge Springsteen fan, but one of these artists that the cult almost ruins it for me. But it was $1. It has the original inner sleeve. And the record is dirty but in great shape, so I figured why not. I believe this is from the era when vinyl was really being phased out. So anyways, just a few pickups. Leave comments, like, all that kind of stuff, and I'll catch y'all later. Bye.